Hello, my Esperholics. So today I'm going to now do my next video and talk about my experience with The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. So I finally played it, and right off the bat I have to say this is definitely not a good entry for a new Zelda fan. Like, this is definitely not a Zelda game you can just jump into. Uh, I would recommend definitely, playing some more Zelda games and just getting used to the traditional Zelda style, which is, going to no longer be a thing with Breath of the Wild. So I would just, play the past Zelda games and then go into Majora's Mask. But I didn't really think of that going in. I just thought, oh, it's a Zelda game, that'll be fine. And needless to say, this was a very interesting transition. I already screwed up, and first time I played it, I ran out of time, and then freaking Termina blew up, and the Happy Mask salesman, he said that famous phrase, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" You know, part of me thinks that guy is evil or something, or I don't know, like, he has really weird, jittery animations where it's like he's doing a jump cut. He doesn't have smooth animations that go from one pose to the other. He jumps from one to the other, so it's this very weird, way he moves, and I feel like they do that on purpose, and he has really weird, disturbing facial expressions, so this guy, the freaking Happy Mask salesman, man, I feel like he has to be part of this whole crap with Majora's Mask and the moon, the evil moon of doom. I feel like he has to be involved somehow. Like, he's just so creepy. Like, how can he not be involved with something, like that? I don't know. I feel like they're hinting at that, especially because he even laughs at your death, So anyway, I had to look up a walkthrough. I know for some people that's, like a gaming sin or whatever. That's something you shouldn't do. You have to beat a game on your own, because that's how classic video games were. But you know what? I don't care. If there's something I cannot figure out by myself, and I've tried everything I can think of, then I look up a walkthrough. And Zelda, for me, is definitely walkthrough heavy. It is a walkthrough needed video game. So I wasn't even able to do the first temple without a walkthrough. So yeah, definitely need it. But I don't care. I think it's worth it. And it's thanks to that walkthrough that I learned the Song of Time backwards, and that makes you slow down time. So that way you can just have a longer amount of time to save. Oh my god. You can have a longer amount of time to save Termina. And so basically I did the Woodfall Temple, and it was cool. Really, the only thing that I needed the walkthrough for was to find out the freaking stupid fairies. If I could have just played that, normally and not worry about collectibles and crap like that, then that would not have been such an issue. But you have to collect all 15 fairies and bring them to the freaking weird as hell and disturbing Great Fairy. Needless to say, I prefer her redesign in Hyrule Warriors. The model just looks smoother, the textures look smoother, her face looks smoother. And, obviously that's because, one's HD and one isn't, and one has, more room for more high poly models, one doesn't. I get it, but anyway. So I beat the Woodfall Temple, and I'm trying to do the freaking spider house, so I can then get the Sheikah mask. I want to get the Sheikah mask. That'd be cool. And I'm trying to figure out how I can get bombs. I need bombs really bad for Link. And I'm just trying to explore Termina and figure out things I can do. Because I know Majora's Mask, unlike really a lot of other Zelda games, is very much focused on the NPCs. Which is cool, because I feel like not a lot of video games that have that RPG kind of element to it give a lot of attention to the NPCs. but this one does. You can, talk to them, and sometimes just listening to them can make you earn a mask. I actually earned this cute little mask that makes puppy dogs, if they're near you, they'll start marching with you, and they march to the music you're playing, so that's kind of cute. I don't see any practical use for it. It's just this cute thing you can do in the game. But knowing Zelda, there's probably some use for it. I just don't know what it is yet. Similarly to the pig mask I got recently, I noticed if you go to a hotel and start sniffing this one room, you find this pink aura, this pink, misty scent. So I feel like it will be useful, but just maybe not now because I'm really early in the game. The game is a bit stressful because, again, I've never played Majora's Mask before, so I was thinking, Nintendo wouldn't do this, right? They wouldn't make such a game with such a dick move that if I reset and go back to day one, that I would lose all my progress over and over and over, and I would just be playing the game over and over. Because I know it's possible to beat Majora's Mask, I've seen it, but, I was worried that if I reset time, that all my progress and the Woodfall Temple would go away too. Thankfully, that's not the case. This game kind of reminds me a little bit of the anime Re:Zero, which is about this guy who enters a fantasy world for some unknown reason, and whenever he dies, basically time resets, and everyone else who has died or met him, everything resets, and they don't know him anymore, or characters that have died are alive again. And it's kind of similar to Majora's Mask in the sense that when the character accomplishes something that kind of alters the way time is flowing, that alters the set of events that are happening, then that detail stays in place and affects what's going on until he dies. Now, what makes that different from Majora's Mask is if you make a huge contribution, if you make a huge effect, make a huge event happen, and then go back in time, that event still affects the flow of time. In other words, I beat the Woodfall Temple, went back to day one, but the fact that I beat Woodfall Temple was such a big event that it stayed even though I went back to day one. Just like how I got the hero's bow in the Woodfall Temple, and I went back in time, and I still had the arrow with me. So it's kind of like the anime in that sense. It reminds me a little bit of Re:Zero, so that's kind of cool. And one thing I like about the game also is just, the fact that the Ocarina of Time is back, because, Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, and I like that you can mess with the ocarina, and if you are really good at music, you can actually just by ear recreate certain songs on the Ocarina of Time. So even then, I'm not even playing the original game. I'm playing a port of it, but whatever. And it's definitely a big contrast with Twilight Princess. There is no kind of time limit to how much you can do in the game, whereas in Majora's Mask there is. You can do whatever you want, but just know that the clock is ticking and you will quite literally run out of time. And let me tell you, the moon coming down to kill you is a very dreadful experience. Like, I know I can, rewind time, but I will lose my progress. Like, if I want to beat the spider house, I have to do that in a certain amount of time, so that way I will have time left over, so I don't have to reset time. Because what will happen is then I will lose all my progress in the spider house, and I have to do it over and over and over. So, crap like that. Crap like that makes Majora's Mask more tricky than, say, Twilight Princess, where you can just go around and do whatever. You don't have a certain amount of time to accomplish something, or else you have to reset everything. So overall, it's cool. It's an interesting game. I already got one of those giants freed from the Woodfall Temple, and thanks to Super Smash Bros. Melee's Great Bay stage, which is based off of the Great Bay Temple in Majora's Mask, I already know what they're for. Those giants help you essentially beat the game, and if you rescue all 4 giants, they will then push back the moon, and you save Termina, and you beat the game. So, I made that little step, towards beating the game, so that's cool. So, Majora's Mask is really awesome. I think the concept that these spirits possess Link's body, and the only way you can really control that is through the masks. Is a cool concept where the mask allows you to become that person, and then you switch back to yourself again with the mask. That their spirit is sealed within the mask or something. The Happy Mask salesman said it was something like that, and that's why you use a song of healing to make Link go back to normal. So it's cool. It's a cool idea. And the Majora's Mask is definitely, I don't know, like it's hard to explain. Like, it's definitely the weird one of Zelda. Like, people refer to as Twilight Princess as the dark Zelda game, the creepy Zelda game, but I feel like Majora's Mask is way more creepy. Like, Twilight Princess is dark in the sense that it's tragic. It's a sad game. It's a very sad experience. Link is losing his friends. He lost his body and became a wolf. Midna lost herself and lost her kingdom. Zelda sorta kind of dies at one point. So it's a tragic game. It's a dark game in that sense. It's very sad. But Majora's Mask is dark in the sense that there's this tension. There's this feeling of you have to hurry. You have to get everything done within a certain amount of time, or else you die. And let me tell you, those bells that go off when the freaking moon is falling is very... It's hard to explain. It's like, the end of the world, the apocalypse. You're gonna die. You just hear those bells going off, and the music gets really, really tense sounding. Then you actually see the screen that starts to shake a bit. The area around Link is shaking because the moon is gonna come. So it's cool. It's a cool game. Just definitely not a good game for beginners. Definitely something I would recommend just after you've already played a few Zelda games. It's definitely not like play Twilight Princess and then jump to Majora's Mask. Like, it definitely not, in my opinion. I remember I had to do that stupid part with the kids, and they want Link to chase after them, and that's how you get the password to become a member of the club. But see, that's the cool thing about Majora's Mask. I overcomplicated things. I did something that I didn't know I had to do, or I didn't have to do it, the part with the kids. But because of me doing that, thinking I had to, I then learned the code 15243. I think that's it. And that's the code you need to become a member of their club. So then I can just go back in time, go back to the kid in the east part of Clock Town, and then tell him the password, and then I'm already a member because of, doing that password. So it's cool, in that sense. Like, you can learn information that will help you, and then you can just rewind time, then use that information instead. So it's really cool in that sense, Anyway, I feel like I've rambled on a bit. I don't know. Anyway, so this is my first video for my experience, my vlog of Majora's Mask, and I will make more when I play more. And I will definitely make a vlog for Pokemon Sun and Moon when I get the game. I'm gonna get Moon. I want Moon. But there are Pokemon I like in Pokemon Sun, so I'm gonna, get Moon, but then also trade to get the ones that I like that are in Sun, So I'm gonna make a vlog for when I do that too. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and this is AS4Gaming going away, and I will see you all next time. Bye.